Have you ever wondered what sets human intelligence apart from animal intelligence? One big difference is our ability to develop, learn, and master tools to tackle complex problems. Do you agree? What really sets us, humans, you and me, apart? It is how well we use these tools to get things done. We call this a skill. Take a car, for example. It's a tool that can get you from point A to point B, but it's your driving skill that ensures you arrive safely. The better you are at using a tool, the more effective you will be in any field. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Data Lingo Solutions AI Curious series, where we demystify complex AI concepts, transforming them into clear, understandable content for enthusiasts and experts alike. Now, let's talk about AI, especially the kind we are used to, the ubiquitous conversational AI, aka copilots. Just to be clear, when I say copilots, I mean any chatbots like ChatGPT, Gemini, Llama, Claude, etc., 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 that we use. To learn more about copilots, check out my previous video, Embrace AI, in this series. To get the most out of your copilots, there is one key skill that makes a big difference. Can you guess what it is? It's prompting. Becoming skilled at prompting enables you to have more effective conversations with your copilots. In this session, first I will share a well-known method that uses a prompt template. And then I will share a technique that will help you learn how to prompt intuitively. Let's dive in. To set the stage, let's consider a real-world scenario. A fictional, experienced barista at Pete's Coffee wants to explore opportunities as a store manager at Starbucks. She wants to check with her copilot to confirm that she is ready for it. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, let's see what happens when she tries prompting this scenario without any special training or consideration. After all, prompting is supposed to be easy, isn't it? Let me share my screen. Here is a scenario. An experienced barista at Pete's is wondering if she can qualify to become a store manager at Starbucks. Here is her prompt. Hi there, I have 3 years of experience as a barista at Pete's. Do you think I would be a good fit for a store manager position at Starbucks? Looks fair enough, very straightforward prompt. Let's try it out. What happens? Okay, now that the response is done, let's copy paste this and analyze this one. All right, let's analyze this one. It says, the response says it recognizes that she has 3 years of experience, and also there are some of the considerations it is taking. Based on that, it is giving some recommendations for her. I'm not going to read the entire response. You can pause the video and look at it yourself. And you will realize that this response is not something that would be very useful. So, how can we get better at it? To get better response, you have to help your copilot to help you. How do we do that? By getting better at prompting. If you search the internet on how to get better at prompting, you will find countless articles, videos, and even courses on something called prompt engineering. For those who may not be familiar, prompt engineering is a method for crafting effective prompts to get specific results from AI models. Many of you might have read articles, watched a few videos, or even paid for a course. At the end, invariably, they give you some sort of a template to fill in. There will be sections like goal, persona, context, examples, etc., etc., etc. And I would argue that these templates are a great starting point. They help us think more carefully about our prompts and provide context for better results. Have you tried using them and seen any improvement? Let's say our barista is a master at prompting and now she's going to try again. Let's see what happens. Again, I will share my screen. All right, here is a prompt from our prompt engineering guru, barista. She clearly starts off with, say, assess my qualifications for store manager position at Starbucks. Very clear task she has given. And she states what are the goals. This is a template we are reading. The template requires goals. And she is mentioning, okay, this is my goal. This is the goal for your response. Evaluate my skills and experience in relation to the job. And also, this is another piece of template that says persona. You have to mention the persona, and then she's specifying the persona that you have to assume the role of a hiring manager because hiring managers' feedback matters. And she is giving a context. Okay, it's not just I have 3 years of experience of as barista, but she says about the type of work she has done. Like, for example, strong communication skills, manage cash handling and inventory, which are normal store managers' daily duties. That's what she's telling that she has already done that. And then she is giving some examples. Okay, from this, my experience, here are the things that you need to consider. These are the things that I want you to notice and respond based on that. So here are some examples she's telling. Uh, and if there are any gaps, she wants to know. No, she is specifying everything very clearly. And here she is talking about what's the format and tone. She clearly says, provide a concise, not elaborate, concise bullet point assessment of my qualifications. She's very clear what's the format of the response should be, along with recommendations, all those things. So again, I'm not going to read the entire details, but you can pause the video and read up to understand how she has structured her prompt based on the template. The template specifies that it has to have a task at the top and then goals, persona, followed by context, some examples if there are there, and what's the format and tone of the response that she is expecting. So let's see what happens when we run this prompt. I have a brand new session so that it won't be influenced by the previous prompt. Here we pasted it, and let's see what the response is going to come up with. All right, now the response is done. Let's copy it into our document and then try to analyze what it has. Again, based on the prompt, it's clear that it has captured that she has 3 years of experience. Also, look at the response here. It clearly says what are her strengths, what are the areas for development, and some recommendations here. If you go over this one, it looks much better response. She wanted in a bulleted point response. The format should be bullet point response. That's what she got. It should be professional tone. That's what she got. This response is much better. It's actionable. She can look at it and understand, yes, this Copilot has understood my strengths and weaknesses, and based on that, it is recommending something. Certainly, this response is much better. Do you agree? But in order to get this response, look at how she had to craft her prompt. She has to consolidate her thoughts. She has to break it down into the right structure here so that the Copilot can understand exactly what she's asking and it has all the right information for it to deduce the right response. So that's what she has done. She has provided a clear task, a clear goal, clear persona, what it should take, and what are the contexts where she has stated all her experiences. She wanted to give the right examples of what to extract from the prompt that she has given and what should be the response format and tone. She has thought about it. She has captured all the things that she wants and put that in this template. This is beautifully done. But imagine, go through what you want and breaking it down into clear, concise fragments like this. It is very hard work. It generates a great response that is usable, actionable, and you can be satisfied with. If you find this information useful, please like and share it with others who might benefit. Please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon below to get notified whenever we release a new video. Coming back to the topic, response to the templated prompt was much better. But how was the experience of coming up with that prompt? Imagine you had to type in that prompt. It's tedious, tiresome, so unintuitive. Why? Following templates in conversations is not natural to us. When we have conversation with humans, we don't carry a template. When we use a template, our thoughts are fragmented. Nuances are missed out. It's like filling out a form. Boring. If we had to do that while conversing with our copilots, there is no fun. It is unintuitive because we are trying to think like our copilots. We do not have to think like our copilots. Instead, we have to make them think like us. If we can achieve that, conversations will be much more intuitive. You need those points stated in the template, certainly, but if you can embed them in the conversation itself, it will be easier for us. How do you do that? We need to think differently. Think of your conversation with your copilot as a conversation with a subject matter expert, like a financial advisor, or a lawyer, or a building architect. Remember, we used to go to them. You did not go to them unprepared. You went to them with a clear goal in your mind. You did not chit chat with them on unwanted things either. You went to them with all the relevant information and shared it readily, and they filled out the form. If you had any examples of earlier cases, you shared that too. If the outcomes needed certain documents in certain formats, you made sure to ask for that. To get the best out of our conversation with our co-pilots, we must do the same thing too. Can we do that? Let's go back to the example of a barista wondering if she can become a store manager. This time, we will keep this conversational. Let me share my screen again. All right, here our barista has changed her strategy because that templated based prompt was too tedious for her. Here, she has just gone and typed in everything, whatever comes to her mind. It is so narrative and it's very freehand. This is the type of conversation we would have with other humans. That's how it feels if you read it. I'm not going to read the entire prompt. You can pause the video and read it for yourself. Don't get me wrong, everything, whatever the template wanted, it is there. So here is the prompt and here is the breakdown. Again, you can pause the video here and you can go over each and every one of these points that I have marked here. What is the goal? What is the persona it should take? What is the context? What is the examples? What are the format and tone? It's many of them are explicit, many of them are implied. You don't have to explicitly ask for something. For example, when in the persona, all she has done is she didn't say anything. She just, hey, hiring manager at Starbucks. Immediately, the co-pilot would know, oh, the role I had to take now is hiring manager at Starbucks. All right, it does that. And here, format and tone, she just says, give it to me straight. So it is very clear from that phrase here, yes, she wants it, the straightforward feedback, no sugar coating, and it should be in a casual way because she is using a casual tone here. And she has provided the right context here. In fact, if you really look closely, what she has done is when she is typing, in addition to saying that she has experience in managing the inventory, managing the cash. In addition to that, she just realized, actually, I have trained newbies. Why don't I include that? And actually, I have dealt with angry customers. That would be very important for the store manager role. So why don't I include that? She has additionally added all of those things. That is because when she is typing in her message from her heart, she can relate to more things. And those things that are relevant can be useful here. That's what she has added that into the prompt. And let's see how this prompt will work. Let's copy paste this and go and run that. Let's copy this and go and paste it in a brand new session here so that the Copilot will not be influenced by the previous prompts. Here it is. Okay, now that the response is done, I'm copying it to our document. And here is the response. Let's see how it is. If you look at this one, it is very casual because she asked a casual question, give it to me straight up. So it has been very casual in its response also. And also here it is. So it says, okay, let's state the positives here first. And here are some of the points that where you need to improve upon. Here are some actions that you can take to become more competitive. And you look at the format, it is even acting as if it is the hiring manager. It is coming from that perspective. Look at this beautiful response you get. And it is quite conversational also. So this is something that you can relate to. You feel as if you're talking to another human with this conversational structure of prompting. So there are two ways to get very good results from the copilots. One is by following a template, like what I showed earlier. In order to do that, you need to fragment your thoughts, your requirements, your expectations into right formats and stick it into the right places so that the copilot can understand. Or you can have it conversational, it will be more intuitive, but you have to make sure that your prompt here includes all the points that the prompt engineering template was recommending. You have to include that here. Then it is more conversational, so you feel more natural to have this type of conversation. It's more intuitive, and you get equally or even better responses from Copilot. Welcome back. How was that demo? It's easier to express ourselves in a conversational manner, isn't it? After I started taking this approach, my conversations with my copilots are more fun and fulfilling. A couple of tips from my experience. For complex projects, break it down into manageable number of steps and tackle one after the other. Do not try to address all of them at once. Your copilot will get confused and in return confuse you. Or ask your copilot to break it down into steps and provide a plan of attack. Recap the plan frequently in your prompts to stay on the main goal. At each step, you can ask the copilot to take different personas too. Second tip, always read the responses and make sure they make sense. If not, ask follow up questions. Never take responses for granted. I know. We all know this. But yet, in the excitement of crafting prompts and receiving responses, I have often forgotten to review them carefully and have burned my fingers as a result. Thank you for joining this session by Data Lingo Solutions. In conclusion, mastering the art of prompt engineering is crucial for unlocking the full potential of conversational AI. By treating our interactions with copilots as conversations with subject matter experts, we can tap into their vast knowledge and capabilities in a very natural way to us. Remember to specify clear goals, persona, context, examples, etc. in your prompts, and you will be well on your way to achieving more productive and intuitive collaborations with your copilots. As we continue to navigate the ever evolving landscape of AI, let's harness the power of our copilots. Help your copilots to help you. Happy prompting! If you found this session helpful, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Feel free to leave any questions or comments below, and we would love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. Thank you again for watching and see you in the next episode.